around this opinion. All right, team, we are going to rip into this episode. If you got any questions or you want to add anything, please feel free to comment and we'll come back to those questions, comments at the end of the podcast. Let's get into it. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you're sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Today, I want to have a little bit of a chat to you guys about what I'd say is more of an uncomfortable chat or an uncomfortable topic, because I keep seeing the same thing over and over and over again. People wanting a shortcut. And for me, it was a guy walking up to me at the gym this morning and he said, I've just started a program. What supplement should I take? What's the fastest way? What's the easiest way? What's the less uncomfortable way? What supplement should I take? What do I do to lose this belly quickly? What's the best fat burner that I should take? What do I need to do to drop the first 10 kilograms? And every single time, I think the same thing to myself. You already know what to do. You just don't want to do the boring work. But here's the punchline. The boring work is the work. There is no other work, guys. When I was on this coaching call this morning, the kickoff call this morning, I was thinking to myself as I was saying this to the 4 or 5 guys on the call, I was saying stuff that they already knew. And I said, this should serve as a reminder more than new information. And the reality of joining a coaching program is your coach should be reminding you of the basic simplicities, not the complications. We live in a world now where everything is just so instant, isn't it? The fact that you guys give me 20 minutes of your time is amazing to me, because so many of us are just stuck in this short form, flicking through content, right? And just getting ourselves more confused. You want food, it's delivered in a minute. You want entertainment, you stream it, you flick it on Netflix. You want a lift somewhere, Uber. So it makes sense that people just assume their body should change the same way. But your body doesn't care about your impatience, does it? It just responds to the boring work, the repetition, the consistency, boring, repeated effort over and over and over again. And this is what most people are avoiding. The problem with social media is that you see the pretty side of the boring work. You see the novel exercises that a fitness influencer puts up to get traction. You see the beautiful meals. What you don't see is the 3 days of basically the same workout over and over again. What you don't see is me eating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Not because I'm lazy and don't want to change things, but because it's the boring stuff repeated that gets you results. And most people have convinced themselves that it's more complicated than it actually is. So they are procrastinating getting started or restarting. If you're coming back to fitness after a bit of a layoff, are you procrastinating because you want it to look perfect? You want it to be more difficult than it actually is, but it's not. So why do we overcomplicate things? Let me tell you why I believe we overcomplicate things. Because researching and preparing ourselves mentally, it kind of feels like progress, right? When you're reading a book about a topic that you want to get good at, or you're watching YouTube videos about the thing, researching, it feels like effort. But isn't it just a form of procrastination? I mean, none of it is risky. None of that requires you to actually go to the gym when you feel out of shape. None of that requires you to say no to the 3rd beer on a Friday night or the 10th. None of that requires you to do the boring work of tracking the calories in your food so you know what's actually in there. We complicate this because if we can make it more complicated than it actually is, that's safe. Simplicity, making it actually really simple and dumbed down, that makes it like a call out to yourself. So I just need to do the basic stuff. Walk more, lift some weights 2 or 3 times a week. I need to eat protein. I need to go to bed at a normal time so I can get at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I probably just need to control my weekends a bit. I was having a conversation with someone earlier on today, and they were saying, I eat perfectly through the week, and I get to the weekends and I always mess it up, but not by much. I just like a little bit. Why am I not losing weight? Is it really that possible to undo it all in two days of the weekend? Think about it. If you are in calorie maintenance for 5 days of the week and you get to the weekend and you're in a slight calorie surplus, you're not going to lose weight because you didn't create a deficit through the week. You're going to put on weight. And this is why we're not understanding that this is so much simpler than it needs to be. So I asked myself, what's really going on here? Why do we know this, but so many people are struggling? I think it's because we're scared of failing. We're scared of starting and then stopping again. We're scared of our mates looking at us and say, here we go. Here's Jace at it again. Here's Jennifer at it again. They're doing the diet thing that they always do and always failed at. We're scared to be the guy who goes to the gym and looks like an idiot when we're doing our training, right? We're scared of giving up alcohol. We're scared of going out with the girls, for example, and being the one that doesn't drink. So we tell ourselves things like, my ankles are sore and the gym isn't really my thing. Or I just need to get motivated first. Or I'll start when the work calms down a bit. I'll start when the kids are a little bit older or when the kids are in daycare. The truth is that staying overweight is predictable. If you're going to make some changes, that feels risky. The reason it feels risky is because you are leaving your comfort zone and doing something that everyone else around you doesn't believe that you can do. So in a way, you're putting it on the line. There's a real comfort in staying the same, isn't there? When you think about it, it's much easier to just stay the same. Same life, same problems in your relationship, same lack of communication, same job that you fucking hate, but you just do it because, you know what, better the devil I know. And guess what? Staying overweight and feeling crap is comfortable, but it's dangerous. We all know that being overweight puts you at higher risk of heart disease and diabetes and low energy and impotence and certain cancers, poor sleep, less confidence. We know that. But it's familiar. And so it's almost like a bad friend that we've got to know, and it's better that we keep the bad friend than risk going and getting a new friend. Your family knows you this way, so they expect you to stay that way. Your friends know you this way, and they expect you to stay that way. And the moment that you start doing some things in your life, they say, you've changed, as if that's a bad thing. Do you want to be the same person for the next 10 to 20 years? Like, honestly, if you're in exactly the same spot as you are now in 20 years, are you happy about that? You're the busy one, the stressed one, the one that's saying, I used to be fit, I'll start Monday 1. Here's something people don't actually talk about. When you're starting a transformation, everyone cheers. Let's go, son. You can do this. Good on you, mate. I'm proud of you. You got this. You guys feeling this? At the start. But quietly, when you're not listening, most people want you to fail. Because if you fail, you prove that you're human, that you can't do it just like me. It forces, when you start winning, it forces a person in your friends and family group to actually look at themselves and have an uncomfortable discussion with themselves. So it's better that everyone just stays comfortable, right? Including you. The boring work, and this is it. Let's strip it right back. It's boring. It's not sexy. It's not extreme. It's not complicated. It's walking daily. It's lifting 2 to 3 times a week. It's wanting to get takeaway, but realizing you need to hit your protein target every day, and that requires effort. It's cooking at home more often. It's trying to cut down alcohol, even though you're stressed as shit from a day of work. It's going to bed earlier when you want to stay up and watch all of the different shows that you watch. And it's controlling your weekends. None of this stuff is groundbreaking, team, is it? None of this stuff is stuff that you don't already know. And here's the part that might annoy you. It's been the same for 50 years. I've been doing this podcast for 4 years, and I've been saying the same thing still. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Methods come and go. The basics stays the same. There's no magic method. The basics are what will help you win. Now, when it feels hard at the beginning, it feels really forced. If you've just started in BBA, what it is you have to think about everything, don't you? It's like, man, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to be good. It feels like you're on the plan. You're trying. You notice how much effort it takes to try to make a good decision. You feel awkward in the gym. You feel awkward and kind of annoyed about saying no to drinks. You feel hyper aware of your body and you don't like it and you're like embarrassed about it, right? And you think, this shouldn't feel this hard. But if you step back, is it hard because it's complicated? No. It's hard because it's overwhelming. It's hard because it's new. It's hard because it's breaking a new identity. And it's hard because for so long, you've chosen short-term pleasure at the cost of a long-term benefit. Now we're flipping it up the other way. We're choosing a long-term benefit for short-term pain. And most people don't like that. Make sense? So let's call some stuff out. My ankles are sore. Okay, but you don't seem to have any problems going out and just walking around on the weekend doing stuff. Like, are they actually? I don't have time. Well, what about all the time you're spending on Netflix and social media and scroll? The gym intimidates me. Well, so does being overweight when your kid asks mum and dad to get involved with their sport and you can't. I just need motivation. No, you don't. You don't need any motivation to have a drink. You just do it. You don't need this like crazy plan. We need a simple plan. We need structure, and we need to accept that on some days, most days, we're just not going to feel like it, but we're going to do it anyway. That's the key. That's adulthood. That's leadership. That's discipline. There is a moment, if you've been through a real transformation, either in your career, your relationships, there's a moment in your transformation of your body, your mind. And you know this moment where the boring work, it stops feeling like such hard effort. And it just becomes, oh, this is who I am now. All of a sudden, you're not on a plan. You're someone that wants to train, and you'll go away on a holiday and you'll seek out the gym. You'll go away on a holiday and you'll actively go and try to hit your steps because you know you're going to have a party this night. So you want to make sure that you got your steps in before that. You're someone who will go to the buffet and make sure that the protein's the first thing on your plate. You're someone who, even though you're on a ferry going to the other side of the world, or you might be getting some drinks on the airplane, you don't just drink because, it's free alcohol. You're kind of like, well, I might have a beer or two, but that's where I'll stop because I'm a healthy person. You don't debate any and all decisions every more because you've built self-trust. Does this make sense, guys? But you have to get there by surviving that awkward phase at the start where everything feels very hard and very boring. Now let's be honest. Let's talk about the costs of avoiding the boring work. It's not like there's nothing dramatic here. You just stay where you are. You stay tired. You avoid the photos. You wear the loose shirts. You hesitate every time you go out to a social event. You don't want to take your shirt off or get in a costume at the beach because you feel so awkward. And then the years stack up. And one day you're 45 like me. And where did that happen? And then next year you're 50, and then you're 55, and then the ball's rolling. And finally one day you realize that you're still talking about it. Like, it's hard, not because it's complicated. It's hard because you've got to do the boring work. And if you weren't given that template from your parents, you have to create it. And guess what? If you create it, you're the person that gives it to your kids. What an inheritance you're giving them. Let's talk about the upside of embracing the boring work. What would happen if you committed? Your energy levels would go up. Imagine nothing changed, but you didn't feel like you were hauling ass every single day. Imagine your posture changed and people started to comment on how you're holding yourself, how you're walking different, how you're speaking different, how you're showing up differently in your workplace, how your partner notices you're more capable at home, more present at home. Maybe you've shifted into a new career because you trust yourself again. You're able to post things on social media, not for validation, but because it makes you happy to show the good things that are happening in your life. This is where everything changes. So here's what I want to do. I want to propose for the month of May that we all have a think about this. Like, what boring work are we avoiding? What shortcuts are we trying to take? What motivation are we hoping comes to us so that we can finally get started? We need to stop pretending that we need a more advanced plan. We don't. We just need to pick the 1 or 2 or 3 simple things that we've been avoiding and do those things. Is it looking at our relationship with alcohol? Is it actually getting our steps up, getting up 30 minutes earlier and going for a walk? Is it getting out of training at home and going to the gym? Is it going back to tracking and saying, you know what, I'm just going to do this for a month? No big announcement, no dramatic social media post, no big speech on what you're going to do and telling everyone. I'm just going to do it for the next 30 days, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Because the life that you say you want, it's hidden inside the work that you're avoiding, the boring work. And once you accept that this boring work is the medium to which you've got to move through to get the things that you want in your life, the quicker you get to those things in your life. You see people who are living a life that you want. I think the only difference is their willingness to do the boring work when other people are giving up. Guys, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast. I hope this episode was a little bit kind of reflective and maybe just kind of giving you a poke in the right direction. If you want to listen to any of the back episodes of the podcasts, channels, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, and the like, and go through some 450 episodes if you like hearing stuff like this on the regular to help keep you accountable. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Okay, team. So I hope that was just a reminder more than anything. I think that I haven't been able to keep up with the comments here. Are we not in March, Jace? Yeah, I probably said the wrong thing. I'm sorry, Pete. So, guys, do you feel me on this podcast? I'm trying to just say that we've got to go into March with just some simplicity. Let's keep it simple, right? If you're feeling overwhelmed, either because you're starting or because you got a little bit away from your plan, just understand that's what happens at the end of February. I feel like the end of February is the hardest time for people. It's the transition out of Christmas and holiday mode. The credit card bills start coming in. The weather starts to go to a bit shit in Australia, and we kind of like start making these excuses that things are going to be hard. We expect them to be hard, so we drop our effort off a little bit. We go away from plan. But if you can go through March and just go, you know what? Nah, doesn't need to be like that. I'm going to keep some consistency around this. I'm going to make sure that I keep actually implementing the trifecta in a messy fashion. You will exit March with some fantastic results, and I hope this was a reminder of that. All right, guys, appreciate you all being here. Hopefully it was helpful, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.